its safe haven appeal struggles as the U.S. dollar catches a bid here on Trump's tax reform news. So where do prices go from here? How do you see it?
Well, I mean, news cycles are, something that obviously drives price action, reflecting more or less the emotional nature of human beings. If we go back a week ago or so, we're focused on North Korea, Syria, Russia, all the geopolitical problems, macroeconomic issues, and some of those geopolitical issues have subsided a bit here as the news cycles turn positive. And with the announcement of the Trump tax proposal, clearly the market has entered in more of a risk-on mode here this week, and stocks have been the primary benefactor of that, and gold's ultimately consolidating based on that positive news. But I think as gold pulls back a little bit here this week, I mean, that's allowing those that might be under-positioned or no position at all to start building a gold position for a longer-term play.
So you're thinking that these tax cuts, is it too early to see the impact it would have on gold?
Well, I think it's a bit presumptuous to assume that this tax proposal is actually, going to turn into legislation and ultimately get signed into law. I mean, the track record that we have here for the first 100 days of the Trump administration, we haven't seen any major legislation passed yet. The only major legislation that the Trump administration tried to get through was the health care bill, and that was definitely a failure, at least to this point. So, I think the proposal as it came out is probably going to look very different upon becoming law.
So, Tim, is gold just a currency play here? How would you trade it right now?
No, I mean, we're actually seeing a bit of, divergence in the normal relationship. I mean, if you look at, the dollar and gold today, the move in the dollar would suggest a much larger move lower in gold, but, gold's relatively speaking hanging in there. So I think we could see some strange movements with respect to currencies and the dollar, because if you consider the Trump tax proposal, while short-term bearish as risk assets are benefiting, that actually is very bullish long-term for gold. So, I think we're going to see some short-term selling in gold and some long-term buying. So I think we'll probably see some consolidation based on that mix of buyers and sellers. Again, I think it's an opportunity on any dip to buy into that dip.
All right. What about silver? Do you think it's just riding gold's coattails here? What's the best way to trade silver here?
Well, I mean, I think the macroeconomic fundamentals that drive gold and silver are very different. Silver, I think, has benefited this year from improving economic numbers in the United States. We've seen improving numbers in China as well. Silver being a more industrial metal, tends to benefit more in robust economic times. And so, as of 2017, silver's outperformed. The spec position in silver got a little big. So I think based on the record spec position that was built into silver, it left it susceptible to a pullback. So really, I think with silver, that's all we're ultimately seeing. So, I mean, I'm looking for a bottom here pretty soon in both gold and silver. So I think getting long either of those markets would benefit a portfolio in the long run.
Tim, thanks so much for your thoughts.
All right, Daniela, thank you.
And thanks for watching. Don't forget to catch our Minds and Money coverage live from New York. Starting next week, we'll be live streaming panels from the event, so be sure to stay tuned. Thanks for watching.